to be influenced the southern part, and southern part to be influenced the northern part. So if you put that scenario, that would be the common scenario for other parts of this globe in terms of comparative literature. Secondly, England was influenced by the magnetic attraction of France. Not only, so first time we have said that northern part was influenced by the southern part of France, but England itself was influenced by France. Not only the France country, their ideology. What is their ideology? What is their thinking in terms of their nationality? Okay, so that was also, so England was also influenced by France and vice versa. And thirdly, through the ebbs and flows of the political history of Europe, we have observed that each part of Europe one time dominated its sister state and at another time submitted to them. What does it mean? In European countries, 36 countries, in European continent more than 36 countries are there. এই দেশগুলোর মধ্যে আমরা দেখেছি যে কোনো সময় ইউরোপের একটা দেশ আরেকটা দেশকে দখল করে নিয়েছে, আবার যে দেশটাকে দখল করে নিয়েছিল ওই দেশটা আবার উল্টো আরেকজনকে দখল করে নিয়েছে। That is the ebbs and flow of the political history of Europe. That means Europe always had been trying to capture the ruling power of a country and vice versa. And that country was also trying to capture the ruling power of another country. That is the political situation of Europe. Okay. And fourthly, the theological Germany. German nationalist country is based on theology. Theology, that means the idea or the thinking or activities on religion. Artistic Italy, the art, the architecture, the monument, the history, the legacy, the so many things. Especially Italy is famous for their artistic creation. So Italy is famous art. Italy is famous for their art. Artistic Italy, energetic France. So France, always a country, a mighty country, politically powerful country, and they invaded many parts of this world. So this powerful country was also is their ideology, also their identity, whose identity the France can be called energetic France. Okay, and Catholic Spain. Spain, okay, we know several terms of Christianity, especially Spain is dominated by Christianity, a terms of Christianity that is Catholicism. And the Protestant England, in many parts we see that the people of England, they believe in not Catholicism, they believe in Protestantism, and influence the other European countries in many different ways. So theology, artistic thing, energetic perspectives, and religious perspectives. Everything of a country can influence the other nation. Okay. Shall mention that. Shall put us in a different scenario of comparative literature. He talked about not the comparison, he talked about the influence of thought. What type of thought? We can give it a different definition of thought, that is the ideology. What is the ideology of Italy? They are very much artistic. What is the ideology of France? They are very much mighty. And what is the ideology of Spain? They are very much religious, Catholicism. Okay, so such kind of thought process and ideology inspired the other country. Shall asked us to compare that thought process or that influence. So artistic Italy will have their power of art. He also said that how much of the influence you will be taken from that artistic Italy, it's up to you. Okay, but there is an influence. Fifthly, William Shakespeare's profound analysis was duly possible for the tremendous influence of the warm shades of the southern part of France. William Shakespeare has written 38 dramas, 154 sonnets. And in case of the writing, the profound contribution, William Shakespeare's profound contribution to literary history, and he is called the greatest poet of English literature. Shaw said that William Shakespeare was tremendously influenced by France. France, that means France, their mighty country and their the southern part, especially not the northern part, the southern part of France, William Shakespeare was influenced. So what we say, that we can say that many of William Shakespeare dramas, we will see that there is an influence of the southern French history, mythology, anthology and others. Okay. Have you got the linkage between influence and literature? A bit? Okay. So that means William Shakespeare was influenced by the southern part of France, and he wrote so many writings. So in case of literature, of course, there is a thing that can be called influence. You have got the point? Sixthly, Milton's Catholic belief. John Milton, writer of Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained. Okay. And he was the poet laureate of Oliver the Cromwell. Oliver the Cromwell in the history of England was the first Puritan government in England. And at the time, theater was banned. Anybody will not go to theater. Everything was burned. And at that time, Milton was the poet laureate of Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell beheaded Charles I. Oliver Cromwell Charles I মাথা কেটে দিয়ে ক্ষমতা এসেছিলেন, and that Oliver Cromwell himself was beheaded in 1660 by Charles II. That means Charles I father. So this Catholic belief of Milton was added and embellished by the Roman and Italian spirit and influence. Okay. So Milton's Catholic belief was also adorned and embellished by the Roman and the Italian spirit. So how did Milton was inspired in his Catholicism? Here it is said that he was inspired by the Roman and Italian spirit of Catholicism. So the great writer William Shakespeare was influenced by the southern part of France, and next time John Milton was influenced by the Roman and Italian spirit of Catholicism and influences. Okay. So in such a way, one literature will be, or one country or nation will influence other. Finally, the attraction, not only the ideology and other things, attraction, the sympathies, the constant vibration of all this living, all this loving, exalted, melancholy and the reflected thoughts. So thought cannot simply be termed as ideology. That spirit can be called the living things, loving things, exalted melancholy and reflected thoughts. Some spontaneously means if you get the influence. Romanticism, how we have got the idea of romanticism, Italian Renaissance, and that influence is spontaneously influenced the whole world. You are very much romantic. What does it mean? That means you are very much romantic. Romanticism tells a different definition. The love of past, the love of imagination and the love of beauty. Romantic person is not that you will be an worshipper, or you will be dressing yourself well, suited, booted. You are not the romantic person. Romantic person who is this? Who will be the worshipper? Worshipper means আপনি পূজা করবেন কার? Worshipper of beauty, সৌন্দর্যের পূজারী. Worshipper of past and worshipper of imagination. That means you can have the imaginary power and you can go to have the chirping birds, okay? Birds of the nightingale. So you have the power to worship imagination. If you have the power of worshipping beauty, then that can be the romanticism. So the idea of romanticism influenced some whole world spontaneously. The people of the whole world, they took the romantic ideologies and ideals spontaneously. And one side. Another way, others become of study. Others what? Someone will be taking the influence spontaneously. Others, they will go for study. They will try to study romanticism.
And after studying Romanticism, after studying Michel Bakhtin, after studying Adam Smith,